Millennium stage. Before we get started, I just want to make a brief announcement. If you hear any popping coming from the lobby of the concert hall, do not be alarmed. That's just balloons popping. They do that sometimes. So, just so everyone's clear, everything's fine. And now I'd like to welcome to the stage Zan McLeod and Friends.
All right. We're back again for another holiday show here for you. We're going to have something special today where, as you notice, there's some, Sean has some kilts on here where we are definitely trending a little Scottish up here. And being a McLeod, I'm very glad of that. I mostly play Irish music, but playing with Sean, I've been able to really get into some nice Scottish stuff the last couple of years. And of course, we recorded a CD recently, and it's out there for sale too. It has a lot of great Scottish music on it. So anyway, here we go. We're going to play some reels for you. Let's hear it for Joe Duffey and the District Irish Dance Company. You'll see more of them. So to my left here on the border pipes from Scotland here is Tracy Jenkins. He's working on his PhD at University of Maryland right now. See you. And to my right here is Sean Heely on the violin, fiddle. And to my far right, Kevin Elam on banjo, vocals, and whistle, and mandolin. And myself, Zan McLeod. Glad to be back here. And so now Sean's going to introduce a tune.
Thank you. What a crowd. I'd love to see it. So a few months ago, I guess, or actually it was last year, I got to see one of my idols over on the other side, Liz Carroll, and that was a good time. I love these concerts. So this next set of tunes also comes from the album in some way. We've kind of mixed and matched, but the first one is one I wrote, the first tune I ever wrote, and it's a jig, and it's called the Dram Circle, and it was written when I was in Scotland in the Isle of Skye, and it's to do with whiskey and friendship and music, good times. So the Dram Circle followed by two traditional reels, Farewell to Connacht and Lucy Campbell's.
right, so this concert was originally titled Celtic Christmas. And if you look now, it's titled Celtic New Year. But for those of you who are keeping up with your medieval liturgy, it is still the Christmas season, or the popular song 12 Days of Christmas. So we're going to play a couple well-known Christmas favorites for you, but we're going to sort of remix them into a Celtic style. Thank you.
All right, here's some more jigs for you. We're going to get the dancers out again for the.
All right, so the next couple of tunes that we're gonna do are a couple of mazurkas, and the first one is one I actually wrote while I was up in Cape Breton, which is a part of Canada that's very, very well known for its Scottish music. And I happened to be camping at a campsite that a local fellow had told me about where there are wild horses. So I'd bushwhacked 7 miles into this campsite. And not only were there wild horses, but there were also a couple of seals bobbing up and down in the cove. So this is the first one is Pollett's Cove, and we're going to follow that up with another Scottish mazurka.
Thank you. We're going to do a song now, and this one, we always like to pick songs that kind of reflect the season if possible, and this one references a time called Martinmas time, and it's snowy outside and it's cold. And the story is about a group of soldiers that are traveling around looking for winter quarters. And they find the winter quarters, and they run into a girl who's a farmer's daughter, and ask her to come visit them. And she doesn't want to, but they make her promise that she's going to come visit. And she does, and she honors her word, but before she does that, she cuts her hair short and dresses in soldier's clothes and pretends to be one. And in the end, she outsmarts them all while keeping her word and their money. But nobody dies in it, so it's a rare for a Scottish or an Irish song.
That's right.
So Martinmas time. It fell out upon one Martinmas time when the snow lay on the border. There came a troop of soldiers here to take up their winter quarters. And they rode north and they rode south and they rode o'er the border. And there they met with a nice little girl, and she was a farmer's daughter. And they made her swear a solemn oath with the salt tear in her eye, oh, that she would come to the quarter gates when no one did her spy, oh. And she's gone to the barber shop, went soon, oh. She's made them cut her long yellow hair as short as any dragoon, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. And she's gone to the tailor shop and dresses in soldier's clothes, oh. 2 long pistols down by her side, a nice little boy was she, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. And she's gone to the quarter gates, and loudly she does call, oh. There comes a troop of soldiers here, and we must have lodgings all, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. And the quartermaster, he comes down, he gives her half a crown, oh. Go find your lodgings in the town, for tonight we have no room, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. She's moved nearer to the gates, and loudly she does call, oh. Room, room, you gentlemen, we must have lodgings all, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. And the quartermaster, he comes down, he gives her 18 pence, oh. Go find your lodgings in the town, for tonight there comes a winch, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. And she's took a whistle from her side, she's blew it loud and shrill, oh. You're all very free with your 18 pence, but you're not for a girl at all, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. And she's took her garters from her knees, the ribbons from her hair, oh. And she's tied them around the quarter gates as a token she's been there, oh. With me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-da-daddy-o, with me right, fa-lay-da-lee-da-lee-ree. And when they found that it was her, they tried to have her taken, but she's clapped her spurs to her horse's side, and she's galloped home a maiden. Thank you. And that last tune that we followed it with, we like to say that she galloped off on her horse. The name of that hornpipe is Off to California, so that's where she went.
As far as we know. All right, now we're going to introduce Joe Duffey and some of his cohorts here. We'll let Joe talk here.
How's everyone doing tonight? Kennedy Center, woo! My name's Joe. I am the director and owner of District Irish Dance Academy. We just opened earlier this year, actually, 2018, in the fall. And I'm going to do a quick a cappella number. So that's a number without any music, just my feet. And then I'm going to bring out some of my very talented dancers from District Academy to do a few steps. All right. Thank you, Zan.
All right, so in case that wasn't fast enough for you, we're going to do some polkas next. So we're going to do 3 polkas, and the one we're going to end with is another one of my tunes. I grew up learning to play the bagpipes while also having a dog at home. And Sweet Laurel, the 2 things that make Laurel howl in the world, fire trucks and bagpipes. So the last one is Laurel's Fancy.
So now it's time for some lovely dancing again. There's a type of tune that's in 9/8 time signature, and they call it a slip jig. I guess somebody fell down trying to count it one time, and they call it slip jig. And so it's usually done by ladies, and so I don't know why. The men just don't do it most of the time. So here comes some slip jig. All right, he mentioned just a while ago, there's a lovely place in Scotland, off the coast of Scotland, called the Isle of Skye. And it's where it happens to be where some of my family came from a long time ago, the McLeods. They have a castle there called Dunvegan Castle. Anyway, so I want to do a tune in tribute to the Isle of Skye. And also, I have a son that I named after that. Skye I have a son named Skye McLeod, and he just had a son. And so I have a 10-month-old little grandboy named, his name is Gunnar, Gunnar. Anyway, so this goes out to my son Skye and his new boy.
This our foe stands by the shore. Over he will not dare. Sleep on he board like a bird on the wing. Over the sailor's cry. Carry the lad that's born to be king over the sea to sky. Many's the land fought on that day. Well, the claymore could win. And when the night came, silently lain, dead on Culloden's field. Sleep on ye bold like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad that's born to be king, over the sea to sky. Burnt are their homes, exile and death scatter the loyal man. Yet ere the sword cools in the sheath, Charlie will come again. Sleep ye bold like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lads that's born to be king, over the sea to sky.
Thank you. So we got a few hornpipes for you. Very nice bouncy tune after that. Very beautiful Scottish lament. The first one's called Cronins, and the second one's called The Boys of Blue Hill. So hornpipes.
you so much. Now we have a very special song for you here. And all of you have heard this song a bunch of times, but you might have been wondering, what exactly does Auld Lang Syne mean? Or who is Auld Lang Syne? Or is that a place? Is it a person? Well, it's in the sort of broad Scots dialect, and it basically means old, long since. And it's a reference to times gone by. So the opening question of the song is saying, should old acquaintance be forgot? Meaning, should we forget our old friends, alliances, and so on and on? Now, I'm going to put the part that you all know at the end of the song. So I'll look at you guys when I want you to come in with, should old acquaintance be forgot, etc., etc. All right? And then I think from there, we've got something really special for you after that one.
After we do Auld Lang Syne, we're going to do a couple of reels to close out the night, and we wanted to invite our good friend, my little brother, Colin Mcglinn, up to the stage to play fiddle with us. And he can go ahead and get ready now, I think. And he's in his kilt, yes. But we play a lot of music together down in Norfolk, Virginia. So he drove all the way up. Well, he didn't drive yet, but he drove all the way up here with his grandmother, our grandmother, and we're glad to have him. So he's going to join us in the last set of reels. And we didn't put these on the album, but we play them all the time. And we're going to end with the really awesome pipe tune by the late Gordon Duncan. It's called The High Drive. It's one of the best tunes ever. It's just got the greatest groove, and I'm sure the dancers love dancing to it too. So thank you so much. We've really enjoyed this evening and playing for you all, sharing this wonderful music with you. So we're going to do Auld Lang Syne, and actually we're going to start with an original melody that Robert Burns, the national poet of Scotland, intended for these lyrics to go to when he first wrote them. And at this point, there's like at least three melodies there floating around, but we'll of course sing the one that everybody knows. But just so you can get a taste of what old Robbie Burns wrote, we'll play the melody of this tune for you.
Robbie Burns.
All right, ready?
I trust if you and give a hand o' thine, and will take a right God a very walk for all lang syne. Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind, should all acquaintance be forgot, or auld lang syne, for auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet, for auld lang syne.
Happy New Year.
Thank you for joining us at Millennium Stage.